Hello and welcome to my channel. This here is going to be a tutorial for the Shamrock beads that you purchased off of the website at barnandbrush.com or barnandbrushco.com. I apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put these together. So, and I do believe that my camera is turned around. So we are going to start with the stem of the shamrock pointed towards your body. And then we are going to take this half and we're going to place it right on top. So what we're going to do is you're going to take any type of glue. I am using a stick fast glue. This is in my Amazon storefront. I will have linked. If you want to use a different glue, there is a tight bond glue in there that is not a, like a super glue that you can use. But any type of glue will work just fine. Just be careful whenever you're using this type of glue because it does dry fast. So therefore, you won't have as much time to work with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit on here. And let me see if I can bring you down just a little bit closer. All right, so now we have a little bit of glue on there. And then we are going to place it right on there. And then we're going to just check to see on the back and on the sides, you'll be able to see whether it is lined up correctly. And as you can see, it is lined up for the most part pretty good. There we go. And now, since this is the super glue, it has dried very quickly. I can't even move it because I actually am seeing it's just a smidge, and I would like to move it over just a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to. If you are using the tight bond glue or a wood glue, you'll be able to move that across there, but then it's just going to take a little bit more time to dry. The next piece that you're going to want to use is this one here. Now, you will have to be careful to look because it's not going to line up. It goes a certain way. So it doesn't line up this way. Just flip it over this side and try that. And that seems to do better with aligning. I always try to check the alignment and check the fit before I glue, because once you glue, you cannot take it back off. Okay, so that looks like it's good. So I'm just going to very carefully just remove that, put in a little bit of glue, and then just go right back to where I was. I'm lining it up with my fingers here. And then I see that it needs to go over just a little bit. You also want to make sure that it is aligned pretty good and that these here are not touching, because if these here are touching, this right here is where your string will go up through to make it an actual bead. And then as you can see there, it looks like it is all aligned. Now at this point, if you are using a type of glue that takes a little bit of time to dry, I would set this aside and let it completely dry and then work on your other beads. You came in a pack of 4. I would say that try, and honestly what you might even want to do is just do one side, sit it aside to dry, and then do the other side. Once it's completely dry, then go ahead and work on the other side. Because you don't want to bump it and then forget about bumping it and then it drying all crooked and wonky. So then, again, And as you see, I had adjusted it beforehand. I had made sure that it's going to fit. And there we go. Now I'm going to set that aside to dry. Once it is dry, then you're going to go ahead and take your other side, align it onto the top here. Okay, so I can see that it's going to fit okay. And I'm looking and I see, okay, there's the hole for that side and there's the hole for that side. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of glue to each of those pieces. I'm not adding it onto this piece because if I just went and added it onto the whole piece, then you're going to have glue onto the middle part, which is okay, but then you're going to have to wait for it to dry completely before you can string your bead. And then I just make sure that it is flush around all sides. And I'm just going to double check to make sure that it is aligned properly on all sides. And I'm pressing it down very slightly. And there you go. And that's how you make the shamrock bead. And of course you do the same thing with this one here. Now, with these here, what you can use them for are, like this here, I had stained mine. So you don't have to stain yours. You can paint yours. You can just leave them natural wood. It's completely up to you. I use mine for bead for the wood bead garland here. So let me show you how to string the bead. I just get some twine and then I put it into however long you need it. This is just going to be for an example. And then I just put a piece of masking tape across it and roll it through my fingers to make it to be pretty thin. Now, these are going to be a lot smaller than a typical bead. As you see with these, it's very easily will go through because the hole is pretty large. Where these, the hole is not as big, and if you accidentally glued it a little bit smaller, you're going to have an even smaller space to work with. Now this one here seemed to be okay. Let's see if this one here, this one a little tighter, but it still works through. I'm just going to try to find one that I messed up a little bit and didn't get, okay, there we go. So now this is a little bit tighter. So now what you're going to need is, no, I would say a straight pin or something like this that has the longer needle. So you can use like you might even be able to take a safety pin and undo it and stick it down in through there, but you're just going to stick it in through here and then just push it up through and then grab it, and there it is all the way through. And then you can have it, just make sure that you tie the other end of your twine so that it doesn't fall all the way through. And that is how you will string your bead. You can also probably use the embroidery floss if you want to use that. You just might want to put it through a threader, but just make sure your threader is small enough to go through the hole here. But yeah, so that is everything. If you have any questions at all, please send me an email at barnandbrushco@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and send me a Facebook message or comment below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.